M7 and top 20 MBA programs have released their essays. This year, the essays are around 9 themes. Number 1, goals. Number 2, inclusion. Number 3, values. Number 4, community. Number 5, career choices. Number 6, curiosity. Number 7, leadership. Number 8, uniqueness. Number 9, impact. The first question all those who are shortlisting M7 or top 20 MBA program should ask is, which themes cover my personal and professional experiences? Let's say you're applying to the INSEAD MBA. Applicants who don't have enough international experience should not apply to INSEAD, which closely evaluates your cultural intelligence and negotiation skills across international teams. There are applicants who might not be a good fit for Wharton, but could be a perfect fit for Chicago both. The choice of the school should be determined by the incoming class profile, post-MBA placement trends, and the curriculum. But if you're shortlisting a few stretch schools, evaluate the essay themes and ask yourself, can you map your life story into one of the themes? That's why I use an impact table to help applicants summarize their life stories in one document. If you need help in mapping your life experiences to essay themes, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com, or you may use FNGMat's contact form at store.fngmat.com/contact-fngmat. So let's go one by one through each theme. Number 1, goals. This is the most common essay question that you should expect in all your school applications. Even schools that use reflective or open-ended essays will ask about your goals in short answer questions. Learn the concept of agency in MBA application essays that I've explained in my previous video. Schools use goals essay to evaluate your ambition and also to measure your potential to reach a goal. This cannot be just stated without evidence of achieving similar goals in the recent past. If your post-MBA goal is ambitious, you should show evidence of tackling a similar problem even if the scale is smaller. For example, an applicant was passionate about transforming the job market for low-income workers in Africa. Typically, low-income workers move from one job to another without any trace. He talked about using digitization to create a work history record that could be shared with any contractors in the region. Because the applicant has experience in a large consulting company working on a similar data project, his goals looked feasible. This is an important concept you have to keep in mind before shortlisting a school. Read through their essays and see if you have relevant experience to cite ambitious post-MBA goals. If you don't have any entrepreneurial experience, either in startups or a non-profit, citing entrepreneurial goals would not work out. The same goes for industry switching, let's say from technology to finance. If you don't have experience in finance, either through managing a family business or running the accounts of a non-profit, or even working as a subject matter expert in a bank, mentioning a goal to transition into finance would not be feasible. Earlier, when applicants didn't have the stories to transition into product management or finance, they used to choose consulting as their default industry and function. Right now, even consulting is not a recession-proof industry, with AI and automation affecting the demand across the clientele. Now, to switch into consulting and to a niche capability, you should have some hands-on experience. It is the middle management and entry-level jobs that have been deeply disrupted by AI. Apart from a few selective schools that still build skill for general managers, most want some functional experience with the technology or some experience in the industry. To know more about the right schools where your general management or leadership narratives could be used, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com, or you may use FNGMat's contact form at store.fngmat.com/contact-fngmat. Number 2, inclusion. The inclusion theme has evolved over the past 4 years from an academic version of interpreting concepts in equity and diversity to a moderate interpretation of how you have incorporated inclusion in your work or personal life. This change is a reflection of American politics and, to a larger extent, a backlash from centrist and right-leaning ideologues who found students prioritizing identity over economic outcome to be extremely un-American. The strict control over federal funding, where universities were asked to toe the line to such an extreme that now you won't find any essays with DEI mentioned in it. Even pages with DEI were scrubbed with the new administration. Columbia has rephrased the PPIL essay, which was a great essay question that connected the school's legacy of incorporating diverse perspectives to right now with a prompt that might misguide applicants. Even if there is political pressure to change certain uses of phrases around diversity and equity, cultures don't just vanish. Applicants must be aware of it and not get carried away by the pressure the universities are facing to comply. Refer to FNGMAT's PPIL essay tips to understand the evolution of the inclusion question at Columbia. I have included the link to the older version of the PPIL essay tips in the description. This year, Columbia has rephrased the PPIL essay to an inclusion essay that asks, please share a specific example of how you made a team more collaborative, more inclusive, or fostered a greater sense of community within an organization. Now you have three contexts: collaboration, inclusion, or fostering a greater sense of community instead of just citing inclusivity. Darden asks a similar question. Please describe a tangible example that illuminates your experience promoting an inclusive environment and what you would bring to creating a welcoming global community at Darden. This is a 300-word essay. Here, Darden wants to understand whether you have a framework or a strategy to create an inclusive environment. The more specific details you can share with the admissions team with the right constraints, setbacks, and eventual win, the more believable your essays will be. If you need any help with editing essays with the inclusion theme, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com. Number 3, values. Perhaps the most popular reflectee essay theme is the values essay. This is not very obvious. For example, Stanford's What Matters Most to You and Why is an indirect reference to your values. The same with Yale's commitment essay that asks, describe the biggest commitment you have ever made. Why is this commitment meaningful to you and what actions have you taken to support it? All values essays are validated by your actions. If you just state a value without any action to support it, the values that you cite become aspirational. That's why an important part of selling your values is to nudge your supervisor to cite examples highlighting the values in their recommendation letter. If you truly believe in authentic communication as a value, your supervisor must cite at least one example where you have redesigned a traditional meeting. Maybe you introduce an authentic communication framework and improve the productivity or camaraderie in the team. All top schools truly believe that your past actions are an indicator of your future behavior. That is the intent behind reflective essays. Even leadership essay questions could also ask about values, like Kellogg's leadership essay, which is, Kellogg's leaders are primed to tackle challenges everywhere, from the boardroom to their neighborhoods. Describe a specific professional experience where you had to make a difficult decision. Reflecting on this experience, identify the values that guided your decision-making process and how it impacted your leadership style. Here, the school wants to know the values that are guiding you as a leader. Tuck School of Business asks, tell us who you are. How have your values and experiences shaped your identity and character? How will your unique background contribute to Tuck and or enhance the experience of your classmates? This is a 300-word essay. Here, the school is combining experiences and values as evidence of your potential in contributing to Tuck. Number 4, community. This was a popular theme and still continues to be a popular theme in 50% of the top schools. The theme is visible in Harvard Business Minded essay, where they ask, please reflect on how your experiences have influenced your career choices and aspirations and the impact you will have on the businesses, organizations, and communities you plan to serve. This is a 300-word essay. Although the question is about your experiences impacting career choices, The second half of the Harvard MBA essay question is about your impact on communities where you plan to serve. Obviously, you have to mention communities in Boston. The same with why Stanford MBA essay, where a large part of the narrative should be on how you will leverage the experience. But the school also expects some lines on how you will serve the community at Stanford. This is an unsaid requirement for even many of the goals essay. If the school doesn't have a separate question on serving the community, all schools would like to know how specifically you will take advantage of the experience and also how you will serve the community. Same with Kellogg's first essay question, where the second half is share why you feel Kellogg is best suited to serve as a catalyst for your career aspirations and what you will contribute to a community of lifelong learners during your time here. Again, understanding what the community stands for, their values, challenges, and ambitions can really elevate your answer. Yale goes a step deeper with the question, describe the community that has been most meaningful to you. What is the most valuable thing you have gained from being part of this community? And what is the most important thing you have contributed to this community? Here, this school is offering a much deeper meaning to the word community. It could be any community from professional, volunteering, extracurricular, or in our highly connected digital world, communities around ideas. Cornell MBA application also expects you to mention how you'll contribute to the community in the unique trait that defines me as a. The question is, what is something unique about you that others will remember you by? And how will this trait help you contribute and engage with the Cornell MBA community? This is a 350-word essay. When Yale wants to know what you consider to be a community and how you have contributed, the Cornell admissions team is looking to evaluate traits that could offer the most value for the Cornell MBA community. Again, different schools value different traits. For help in brainstorming and mapping traits, values, and life experiences to each MBA program, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com. The second essay question for the Ross MBA, how will you make an impact at Michigan Ross, has 4 prompt choices. The fourth prompt is about community that says, describe a time when you made a difference in your community or with an individual. 10 years back, I could easily find an applicant who was much more engaged with their community. The proliferation of social media, the pandemic, and the addiction to digital engagement have limited the real world reach of a lot of talented professionals. When you have a choice between mentorship and community example, prioritize community narratives. Darden has combined inclusion with building a global community with the question, please describe a tangible example that illuminates your experience promoting an inclusive environment and what you would bring to creating a welcoming global community at Darden. This is a 300-word essay. Right now, with the right-leaning US government in power, the sentiments against immigrants have reached an all-time high. It's a lack of real-term salary growth, inequality, and the unaffordability of real estate that has translated into scapegoating immigrants. The optics of one party should not distract you from the culture of most top schools. They value the global cohort that has brought so much diversity to the campuses. Lean into your global perspectives and identity while retaining the American ethos of liberty, meritocracy, and work ethic in the essay. The Fuqua community and USA question doesn't mention community in the prompt, but highlight what it means to be engaged in the community. They include this particular line, our students enjoy a wide range of student-led organizations that provide opportunities for leadership development and personal fulfillment. For Duke Fuqua, you must convey the sense of purpose and personal satisfaction when you narrate plans of contributing to the communities in the school and the neighborhood. Even MIT, which prefers applicants with strong con skills, has a short answer question that asks, how has the world you come from shaped who you are today? For example, your family, culture, community all help to shape aspects of your identity. Here, MIT wants to know the biggest influences. They want to understand the unique experiences you have acquired from your community and the identity it has helped shape in you. Even Columbia's inclusion essay has an option to include narratives that highlight a sense of community with the question, please share a specific example of how you made a team more collaborative, more inclusive, or fostered a greater sense of community within an organization. You should understand the difference between a sense of community versus actually contributing to a community, which is often the schools, neighborhoods, and campuses. Many times they are measuring your intent to contribute to specific nonprofit partners. If the essay is hinting at a sense of community, the school wants to understand how you identify with each others in a community. Is it based on ethnicity, language, religion, nationality, or a similar life journey, interests, values, goals, or a belief that one's growth is tied to the community's growth? When you erase all your identities, how do you relate to the community? Is it a sense of justice? Do you feel that your community should receive the right mentorship and support? Schools prefer candidates who think holistically about their community. This is because most of you will grow into careers in private equity, consulting, and technology, where there will be several moments when your decision will affect communities across the world. Are you aware of the impact you would have on communities? Do you have the long term thinking to not just focus on short term profits, but sustainable and holistic growth? The school also wants to understand how you interpret the interdependence between you as an individual and your community. And the best examples are the ones where you show this awareness. Many times I've seen applicants hesitate to mention smaller community engagement, doubting the impact of their effort. Not all essays need this kind of dollar term thinking. There are great essays where the client built a narrative around the beneficiary and the impact their small regular contribution had on the beneficiary's life. Here, scale is not important. The personal stories and how you narrate them matter even more. One client talked about teaching calculus to underprivileged children and how it built the foundation for learning complex concepts in math that became extremely useful in competitive entrance exams. The impact need not be direct. It could be a change in thinking that really set the beneficiary on a path of growth. All sense of community essays should not be coming from membership, either based on neighborhood or any factors related to your identity from ethnicity, nationality, language, or religion. It could also come from a universally recognized sense of right and wrong. These are examples of war crimes, bullying, or the manipulations of markets and regulations that are creating an extremely fragile global economy. So, your sense of community could relate to the entire world without mentioning your identities. Understanding such nuances is important before creating your essay draft. For any help, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com, or you may use FNGMat's contact form at store.fngmat.com/contact-fngmat. Number 5, career choices. Applicants might confuse the goals with the career choice essay. Some schools have both goals essay and short answer, and a career choice as the main essay. If there are two questions, the career choice essay is all about mapping early childhood events to your current job function. It could be about connecting your experience running the accounts for your family business to your current role in finance. It could be about connecting your first stage performance to your current role as a marketer. It could be your first experience overcoming a personal setback to your current role in overcoming a team setback. Experiences that influence your career and continue to inform you about managing uncertainty and leading teams with diverse perspective should be the core of the narrative. Number 6, curiosity. Curiosity is an implicit trait that the school is trying to measure with your essays. You may express it through leadership values, and uniqueness essays. Fully Harvard has continued with an explicit growth-oriented essay where they ask, curiosity can be seen in many ways. Please share an example of how you have demonstrated curiosity and how that has influenced your growth. This is a 250-word essay. As I've shared in the Harvard MBA growth-oriented essay tips video, choose one of the 6 contexts. Number 1, exploration of solution. Number 2, curiosity and cultural change. Number 3, communication and curiosity. Number 4, curiosity, courage and growth. Number 5, learning goals and curiosity. Number 6, diversity and curiosity. From these 6 contexts, the most common examples are around solutions, how you explored and found a solution that address technical, organizational, and business goals. These are the best examples because you're showing a holistic understanding of the technical, organizational, and business challenges. The second overused and popular curiosity narratives around cultural change. Applicants who want to highlight their leadership use bringing cultural change in college and nonprofit, or even in their organization. The toughest and most impactful examples are around bringing cultural change in your organization. Schools know the limited power a 27 to 32-year-old could have on an organization. Any cultural change examples that could be validated through the recommendation letter will immediately set you apart from your competition. Your ability to build consensus and bring multiple stakeholders through change management is an example that will bring believability to your goals of growing into consulting or a general management career. The 7th essay theme is around leadership. Leadership essays have several sub-themes, but citing just any examples of courage without proper context would not move the admissions team. You have to prioritize experiences with certain qualities. The first leadership quality that you have to highlight is cultural intelligence. Even if there is a huge backlash against globalization and immigration, multinational companies are not changing their behavior or recruitment process. They are focused on maximizing shareholder value. This means bringing in affordable talent from any part of the world as long as they can contribute towards increasing the stock price. If your goal is to work with the biggest technology, consulting, PE, or VC firms, you must demonstrate cultural intelligence while leading a diverse team. If you're from an international hub like Singapore and after an MBA you plan to return, a consulting company expanding in the region would find great value in bringing you on board. Your skills in accumulating cultural intelligence that an international MBA offers, your experience in the region, and your pre-MBA experience dealing with or managing an international team would provide the company with the confidence to recruit you as a specialist for the region. All top business schools are efficient recruiter machines for top multinational companies. You must understand the purpose behind MBA programs and choose essay themes that clearly highlight your international exposure and cultural intelligence. London Business School, which has one of the largest international cohorts, asks in essay 2, what makes you unique? This uniqueness could be uniqueness in your professional experiences, or it could be your unique experience managing an international team or growing up in multiple international cities. One client shared how managing a team spread across 4 time zones was the most challenging and rewarding aspect of leading a team. These were teams in London, Brazil, India, and China. You have to choose examples based on the theme of the essay question, the class profile of the MBA program, and also based on the post-MBA placement trends. For INSEAD, a school that prioritizes applicants with international experience, you might not even recognize this factor when you read their latest essay questions. But one of the questions give a candid description of yourself as a person and a leader, emphasizing the strengths and weaknesses you recognize in yourself, is an opportunity to indirectly mention your cultural intelligence as a leadership trait. This way, you can highlight both your uniqueness and international experience in one essay question. There are many ways in which you can strategically position yourself based on the essay theme. For help in brainstorming and mapping traits, values, and life experiences to each MBA program, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com. The second theme of leadership that you should explore is overcoming personal or professional challenges. Schools prefer candidates who have shown resilience. This is an overused trait not because applicants were truly resilient. They tend to cite even the smallest discomfort as resilience. So, what is resilience? Fundamentally, resilience is a mental trick where the setback is reframed as a growth opportunity. Is it really a growth opportunity? Not really if you don't believe it. But if you truly are finding life lessons from every major event, both good and bad, you are already a good fit for a top MBA. Look at any essay prompt. What do you see? Harvard asks, please reflect on how your experiences have influenced your career choices. Stanford's guideline for the What Matters essay is, for this essay, we would like you to reflect deeply and write from the heart. Kellogg's leadership essay prompt is, Kellogg leaders are primed to tackle challenges everywhere, from the boardroom to their neighborhoods. Describe a specific professional experience where you had to make a difficult decision. Every school prefers that you reflect and find life lessons from both your positive and negative experiences. Schools would like to learn about the wins, but these wins are interesting when there are setbacks. Your ability to overcome these setbacks is your sign of resilience. The school should recognize the setbacks as true setbacks. I have a video on setbacks for application essays, but broadly, there are 5 setbacks that applicants use. Number 1, personal setbacks, that is, health related, death of a parent, or a caregiver, or a close friend or family. Number 2, financial setbacks. Your family business goes down, your parents face financial stressors from divorce or health setbacks. Number 3, professional setbacks. The company you served goes down. This is common now when a lot of applicants are working in startups. Number 4, academic setbacks. Failing a course or missing a year. Don't use your main essay for the setback. Use the optional essay for any academic setbacks. Number 5, societal disadvantages. These are intergenerational inequities like poverty or coming from a culture where there is discrimination based on ethnicity, color, or religion. Number 6, geopolitical setbacks. These are applicants forced to migrate from war or survive in war zones. From these setbacks, personal, financial, and geopolitical setbacks are the most persuasive ones. Be careful how you use societal disadvantages or narratives around ethnicity. The school should be convinced that such challenges exist in your neighborhood or did exist when you're growing up. Once you have demonstrated how you overcame these setbacks with resilience and the support of the right mentors, schools will be convinced that you have the ability to grow to the next stage in your career. Here, narrative around mentorship is extremely important. Schools don't like candidates who write all about how they single-handedly overcame setbacks. Citing mentors and the support network is crucial. The third leadership trait that you have to highlight is adaptability. Your ability to adapt as an individual and as a leader is the number 1 skill set that schools will measure now, especially since AI has disrupted industries, job functions, and businesses. Schools that are measuring adaptability are INSEAD with their motivational essay, describe a highly stressful situation you faced and how you managed it. How did this experience teach you about yourself and your interaction with others? This is a 400-word essay. Stressful situations, by definition, should involve some discomforting events. Include examples where you have to change your team strategy or your skills in leading the team and adapting to changing client requirement. Yale has the challenge question where they ask, describe the most significant challenge you have faced. How have you confronted this challenge and how has it shaped you as a person? Berkeley Haas also has the distance traveled essay where they ask about the challenges that have shaped your personal and professional journey. Any challenge narrative should be phrased in such a way that your adaptability is clearly visible. For help with brainstorming ideas for your M7 and top 20 MBA application essays, contact me, Atul Jose, at editor@fngmat.com, or you may use FNGMat's contact form at store.fngmat.com slash contact-fngmat. The eighth essay theme that top schools have adopted this year is around uniqueness. MIT's video essay question, introduce yourself to your future classmates. Here's your chance to put a face with a name. Let your personality shine through. Be conversational and be yourself. We can't wait to meet you. Let your personality shine through is a code word for what makes you unique. Duke Fuqua has mastered this kind of question with the essay, The 25 Random Things About Yourself, where the admission theme is expecting you to list life experiences, your hobbies, achievements, fun facts, or anything that helps them understand what makes you who you are. LBS has a uniqueness essay that directly asks, what makes you unique? Tuck has a question that mentions how will your unique background contribute to Tuck and or enhance the experiences of your classmates? This is a 300-word essay. Darden asks, what would you want your classmates to know about you that is not on your resume? This is a 100-word essay. Ross' community essay is what makes you unique. NYU Stern has a pictorial 6-image expression essay where the school is trying to understand who you are with the images. Cornell has an essay question, what is something unique about you that others will remember you by, and how will this trait help you contribute and engage with the Cornell MBA community? This is a 350-word essay. You should take the cue from Duke Fuqua in answering any questions about uniqueness. It should cover your unique hobbies, achievements, experiences, and unique life events that made you who you are. You should also be aware of stereotypes. Chinese applicants mentioning violin as their favorite instrument, Indian applicants mentioning cricket as their extracurricular, American applicants mentioning marathons as their extracurricular, European applicants mentioning sailing are some of the common examples that have now turned into a cliche. So share your unique hobbies and life experiences. Connect those hobbies to your values and worldview. Avoid stereotypes and examples that your peers or applicants from a similar demographic might mention. The ninth and the final theme for this year's MBA application essay is impact. An applicant highlighted the value of his consulting service in 3 dimensions. 1, in how the nonprofit was prioritizing certain demographic. 2, in how the nonprofit invested in educating the local children that built goodwill for the nonprofit. And 3, the support in healthcare, digitization, and education the nonprofit offered to the community at a discounted price. Instead of just guiding the nonprofit on improving the effectiveness of their outreach, these solutions were designed to engage with the stakeholders on a short-term, mid-term, and long-term basis that eventually will create goodwill and market leadership for the nonprofit. And last year, when the applicant was applying 3 years after the consulting solution, the nonprofit was one of the most recognizable brands in the country. And the supervisor, who was the board member of the nonprofit, validated the contribution with a recommendation letter. Other impactful experiences are contributions in college. It could be how you have run a student club and the unique systemic changes you brought about. The context of the impactful experience essay is offered in the MBA application question itself. For example, Harvard's business-minded essay is, please reflect on how your experiences have influenced your career choices and aspirations and the impact you will have on the businesses, organizations, and communities you plan to serve. So this is a 300-word essay. So the impact targets are businesses, organizations, and communities. Tuck's essay question 3 is describe a time when you meaningfully invested in someone else's success without immediate benefit to yourself. What motivated you and what was the impact? This is a 300-word essay. This essay, as I've explained, wants to measure how you think long term. Fundamentally, essays with the impact theme are measuring long term thinking. Cornell's impact essay is at Cornell, our students and alumni share a desire to positively impact the organizations and communities they serve. How do you intend to make a meaningful impact on the Johnson community? This is a 350-word essay. Again, the school is measuring how you think long term and bring change or sustainable growth or engagement in organizations and communities you serve. McComb's essay 3 is the University of Texas at Austin's motto is what starts here changes the world. This motto embodies the spirit of impact and transformation. What fuels your drive to lead change and make your mark in the world? Leading change or making a mark in the world are all impact-themed essays. Here, your ability to see the complexity of the problem and bringing all stakeholders together is what the school is measuring. Cambridge MBA adds a different dimension to the impact-themed essay. They want to know how someone had a positive impact on your life. What did you learn from that experience? Here you're focusing on someone else, but since the word limit is 200, you can also share how that person inspired you to bring a positive impact on others' lives. The subtext of reciprocity is important in such questions. I hope you understood the themes that schools use to break down who you are as a person. If you need my help with brainstorming ideas for your essays and editing your essays, reach out to me at editor@fngmat.com, or you may use FNGMAT's contact form at store.fngmat.com/contact-fngmat.